From faking their trick shots to cultural appropriation, let's dive into some of the most embarrassing moments in Dude Perfect's hilarious history. Speaking of trick shots, not all trick shots play out the way they're meant to. The boys at Dude Perfect have gained their insane following from the countless impressive trick shots they've done over the years. But for every jaw-dropping trick shot, there's 100 fails. In a 2016 video titled Card Throwing Trick Shots, Tyler and Cody attempted to throw playing cards at various targets, from watermelons to balloons. One of these shots didn't quite go as planned. Instead of hitting the target, it hit Garrett in the eye, forcing him to fall to the ground in pain. The group instantly apologized and made sure the viewers knew that Garrett was okay. But some people criticized the video for promoting dangerous stunts and not taking safety precautions. The incident also sparked a conversation about the risks that come with stunts like these, and the responsibility that content creators have when they make videos including potentially dangerous activities. A lot of their following is young boys, and they're probably motivated to try out some of the tricks themselves. That's why some viewers felt that the group should have taken more precautions to ensure the safety of everyone involved. Aside from the dangerous stunts, the crew has also been criticized for being insensitive about important issues. Their cultural appropriation, for instance, didn't get a laugh out of their audience. Back in 2017, they released a video titled World Record Edition 2, where the guys dressed up in traditional Japanese clothing and attempted to break various world records, including most basketball three-pointers made in 1 minute. Now, their actual intention was just to give a lighthearted tribute to Japanese culture, but it didn't sit right with some viewers. They criticized the boys for using stereotypes and appropriating a culture that they weren't a part of. And unfortunately, that was just one of the many times they did this. In a 2019 video titled Giant Darts Battle 2, they dressed up in stereotypical Indian clothing and played a game of darts using giant inflatable darts. Once again, they were under fire for appropriating another culture for views, which people believe is an insensitive thing to do. These incidents also began a larger conversation about cultural appropriation in media and the importance of being respectful and mindful when representing other cultures. Unfortunately, the five friends haven't always been very sensitive to people's struggles. Their jokes have gone a bit too far more than a few times. Posts on social media spread like wildfire, especially when your following is already huge. So it's best to think before you post just any joke that you thought of. And the guys in Dude Perfect know all too well what happens if you don't do so. In 2019, Tyler made a joke on Twitter and a lot of people couldn't see the punchline. They felt that it was insensitive towards people with disabilities. In response, he apologized and deleted the tweet, but it only takes so long for countless people to engage with the post. Similarly, in 2020, Corey made a joke on Instagram that some people felt was insensitive towards the Black Lives Matter movement. He followed Tyler's example, but the damage had been done. The incident led to people talking about the responsibility that content creators have once they create such popular platforms. Now, you might think that people have only ever had issues with their behavior outside of their actual content, but some have raised concerns about the joy and pride of their entire platform. Are those trick shots even real? People have come to notice a certain technique in a lot of their trick shot videos, which points to them being fake. For example, in a video titled Ping Pong Trick Shots 3, some viewers noticed that some of the shots were edited, and that's what made them look more impressive than they actually were. The group has always maintained that all their trick shots are real and not edited, but there have been multiple videos that people have broken down to show the specific moments where the cuts don't align. If this theory is true, their entire platform is kind of a lie, and that's why it's a huge claim to make. Even if their trick shots are real, some people have come to find their style of content cringy. It's probably because of all these embarrassing things they've done over the years that viewers have lost respect for them. And it also just might be because of the irrelevance this over-the-top kind of content has now. This dislike has led to people finding everything they do embarrassing, especially when it comes to mixing their antics with sports. The Masters invited the gang over to Augusta National National in 2022 in hopes that their presence would help them reach a younger crowd. Unfortunately, it did the opposite. Fans of the actual sport were furious with the authority for letting these clowns come and carry out their tomfoolery on the course. They weren't even there to play golf. While filming at one of the most prestigious parts of the grounds, they carried out a game of golf with every kind of sports equipment, but a golf club and puck. That was supposed to be the fun bit. Unfortunately, serious followers of the sport found it disrespectful and straight up embarrassing, not just for Dude Perfect, but even for the folks at the Masters. Fans called them out for letting something like this happen at the event, with some even commenting that they should be ashamed of themselves, while others claimed that the video was hard to watch because of the disrespect. And they even had some fails in that video which justify these claims. This leads me to the question, are their trick shots really trick shots or environmental hazards? During the same video that they filmed at Augusta National, one of their shots went awfully wrong. Cody tried to hit a golf ball off a rock and ended up falling off the rock and into the water hazard below. To make matters worse, they couldn't even find the ball in the water, which led to a penalty stroke. Although it wasn't the best outcome, it made for an embarrassing moment. Funny for those watching for entertainment, but disrespectful for those watching the sport. And there's more. They've done trick shots with fire too, where they lit balls and frisbees on fire and threw them at targets, all while they were standing in tall grass. So each time the fiery ball fell on the ground, the grass caught fire. Now, they might not find this embarrassing, but endangering the environment isn't the coolest thing to do. But when they play the actual sport in controlled environments, things don't quite go their way. A simple game of basketball had Cody sweating like nothing. They might pull off some insane shots with a basketball, but faced with an NBA star like Luka Doncic, and suddenly Cody's red-faced. They called him to their on overtime, and during their Betcha segment, the two players were pitted against each other. The question was, could Cody score one hoop in an 11-point game? Funnily enough, none of the guys sided with their own friend, and they were right to do so. Doncic's skills were just too perfect for this dude. He kept scoring while Cody kept trying his best, but unfortunately, he failed quite miserably. On top of that, he was getting roasted the entire time for not even getting one hoop in. It might have all been fun and games, but that was a pretty embarrassing moment, especially since he's won a state championship. And that's all for Dude Perfect's most embarrassing moments.